Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Mountain Harmony Gardening. I'm Kristen, and today is pretty much the last day that we are going to get a harvest out of our garden. It is way past time that I harvested the goji berries. They're definitely looking sad. Not the berries themselves, but the plant definitely has powdery mildew. I have never dealt with this much powdery mildew before, but since our weather is getting really cold, it's getting down towards freezing, I have to harvest these. So it's just pretty much pull them all off, and then we're gonna dehydrate them. Well, Donnie helped me harvest all of the goji berries, and we do have some that are still on the plant that are either starting to dry out a little bit, but I figure it's good to leave a little bit for the wildlife, plus whatever drops here, then maybe they'll seed themselves and we'll get some more goji berries next year. The next plants that we absolutely have to harvest are all of the pepper plants. So I know that there are still some flowers, look at that, on some of the plants, but by the end of the week, it is supposed to be getting down near freezing, and these are not going to make it. So we're going to go ahead and harvest off all of our peppers. Well, this is the last of our peppers, and we got some pretty big ones in there this year. I'm really happy with the harvest. Even though this wasn't as full as the bed could have been, we still pulled off a lot of peppers out of this garden. So we're probably going to make these into salsa because that's what we use the most of. So the next we're going to be moving on to the beets and the radishes. Look how good our fall garden did. I came back here one day and it just looked like this. It really loves the cold weather. But with the really cold weather coming, we need to start harvesting this, and I think we can even get some beets out of it. We're going to come down here because these are some of the larger plants, and there's so many leaves. It's hard to see in here. Oh, look at that. That's a really nice one. I'm going to put it in the bucket over here. But we also have some radishes growing in here, and I'm trying to see how they're doing. They're hard to find in all of this. Oh, yep. And look at that. This is wonderful. So I will be harvesting all of the larger beets and all the larger radishes, and then I'm going to let the rest of it go because Patsy is still eating some of the greens from this area, and we might as well just leave it for her. So that's what we're going to do with the rest of them. Look at the size of this carrot. Normally I just grow the little tiny baby carrots because they do really well in our area. I thought this was a baby carrot, but that's definitely not a baby carrot. I am very impressed with it. And we got out lots of beets, and we also took out a lot of radishes, but now you can see what's left of this area is we still have lots of beet greens that we can put in salads, give to Patsy. There's still a few radishes in here that are still a little bit smaller. They might size up or they might not. We'll see, because all of this likes the cold weather. And I'm starting to think that next year I'm only going to plant these in fall, because if I get a harvest out there like I just did, then that'll be great. Of course, the carrots, on the other hand, you do have to let those go for the whole entire season. I have never grown celery before, but I am so impressed with how it turned out this year. All the plants sized up, and I know that when you harvest these, you want to kind of take them off right here, and we're going to be doing that. And then this is the other one too. If you could kind of see it right past the Swiss chard plant. Look at that. Look at those beautiful stalks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to harvest this, and you kind of just keep most of the root and just chop off the top of it. And I'm going to freeze them, or we're going to use them fresh. But I am definitely growing celery again next year. I don't know if you can see me behind this mass of celery. Okay, peeking over where I'm holding them on top. But look at this. Can you see all this? Does anybody need any celery? Because I've got a lot. Since I was sick for a whole entire week, and I'm still not 100% better even now, but at least I can get out into the garden, I have some chores I definitely need to take care of. And when you saw my last video, we were doing herbs, and I didn't get to finish because I started to not feel so great. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna harvest all of the basil like I talked about before. I want to get rid of the leaves. And we're gonna make all of this into pesto today. Well, we have to harvest the last of our cherry tomatoes. They're so good. I am going to miss having fresh tomatoes out of the garden. So we're gonna go ahead, even if not all the tomatillos are completely ripe, we're gonna go ahead and pick them because the plants, like the one over here on this side, is looking really sad. And we need to go ahead and take the whole entire plant down. So Donnie and I are gonna probably spend about 20 minutes, and we're gonna finish harvesting all of these wonderfully delicious tomatoes. Well, Donnie, Sebastian, and I just finished harvesting the tomatillos and the tomatoes behind us, and there are still a lot of green tomatoes left on the plants. I harvested the larger ones, and what you can do with these is you can wrap them in newspaper, put them in a box, put them in a cool place, and then check on them every few days because they will ripen on their own. Now is time to take all of this inside, and you can see below me how much we took out of the garden. We took the basil, and then we got radishes and beets and that massive carrot. We've got our celery, the peppers are down there. We've got our tomatillos in here, and we got the rest of our tomatoes. Now it's time to take it all inside and start preserving it.